Shalom, shalom, everyone. Right, Yahweh Shema Shabbat to the brothers, Yahweh Shema Allah Son, Shema Shad, Yahweh Shema Allah Son, Shema Shad to the sisters, right? So, in both of those greetings right there, we had the words used, tha, right? Tha is a word which means you, right? That is the primary word to use for you. When you're reading in the Bible, you're not going to often see tha. Tha is used in more formal instances. The more casual instances you will hear is ka, like ka, right? Ka is the more casual instance to say you behind the word. So you'll see stuff. A lot of times you'll read it. You'll be in the prayers. We should teach the prayers today, right? A lot of times you see in the prayers, you'll say la ka, right? We know that la in Hebrew means you. No, sorry. La in Hebrew means two, right? So two, la is two, right? Now if I say la ka, the ka is you, right? So la is two, ka is you, right? So if I want to say to you, just like the Hebrew phrase will say, it will say la ka, right? La ka is to you, all right? So let's get it on the board, right? La ka, right? La, we talk about dash right there to let you know these are two different things right here going on here, right? La ka is to you, all right? So go into any one of those prayers. Mostly that's mostly like the Lord's Prayer. Might be. Right? We got a couple of these in the Lord's Prayer. Oh, there it is right here. All right. La ka. Right? La ka right here is well, that's Malakwath is kingdom, right? So I look for kingdom down here. The kingdom for thine is the kingdom. There you go, right? While Allah is and the power, right? So in the Hebrew, it's saying to you the kingdom, right? So in the English, you say for thine is the kingdom, and that kaya right there is a for, right? That's a good one to know too. But you come across all the time. Kaya, Kaya, right? Is for. All the time. No matter where you go, when you see that kaya right there, that kaya is for. All right? We have the Hebrew sheet here, right? Okay. So also, make sure you have one of these. All right? Make sure you have one of these. This is your Hebrew sheet. You contact your camp leader to email you one of these. All right. You contact your camp leader to email you one of these. All right. The Hebrew sheet. So you want to write kaya, right? Are we far from the board or close? Start here. Okay, God, there we go. All right. So we got kaya and laka, right? Both of these have the ka in there, right? So now, and they're not related when I say both of them have the ka in there. I'm saying that to say you have to find the ka in here, right? To write it, to read it and to write it, you'll be more likely reading these, right? You can read and write these. Well, this is the initial writing form created by the Israelites, right? This was also created by the Israelites at a later time, right? But we've created this alphabet system right here because our slave master at the time, who were the Assyrians in the Assyrian Empire, right? They thought this would look. They thought this looked too ghetto. They thought that this writing system up here looked too ghetto. It looked too barbaric. So we created this writing system here as a sense of coonery, you know, in a sense of lack of integrity and giving over to the more, you know, soft appeal of the heathens. We created this writing system at the bottom. Meanwhile, this was not the writing form of their empire. I believe their empire used cuneiform. Cuneiform was another writing system that looked like dashes, 3 dashes, 2 dashes, and arrows. Little triangle arrows at the end of the dashes. That was their writing system. And compared to this was more along the lines of the manner of their writing system, where it's all fits in perfect squares, all right? So that's that, right? So to get laka, we have the la right here. It looks just like an L, right? And behind it is the ka, right? So you put la ka, right? In Hebrew, you know we write from right to left. So la will go here, la will go here, and the ka will go here, right? La ka, right? La ka, right? And we put in what? We put in our connectors, right? In the particular one, the disconnector here to show that these are not connected. And this is not for particularly the word, but more for pronunciation. All right? So if I did this, it would be lock if I join them together. And lock, when you communicate lock to me, you're not going to be saying to you, I got to look in the concordance to see what lock means. Now, let's see what lock means in the concordance. There's one. We got, we in 2021. Books nowadays are on tablets, right? Everything is more high speed and get straight to the point in the class, all right? So now we go to our Amazon Kindle app. You know, in my criteria, first of all, you know, Batman background is Capernaum here, right? This is the place where Christ taught. This was a school one of the schools in Asia, right? Right. So my tab here says Saparium. Sapar means books. As you see, it's written in the Assyrian Hebrew here, which is the available form from the Google languages, right? I got all my context in there in Hebrew. I don't know if I can show it on here. Can I show my context in here? This is I'm only showing you this because this was a method that I used to really digest the Hebrew alphabet system, right? Okay, I'll pull up the phone app. Okay, I've never used it before. It's asking me for agree to all of your digital rights or whatever. Is it taking too long? It is. Okay, context, there we go. Right? Good, right? So I go down here, a lot of my context here, right? I got an English up here, and then everyone in the school is in Hebrew. Yeah, I mean, this is what I use. Captain Desire, Captain Shamal, everybody who's in the school, I write their names in Hebrew, and this was a very good way to digest the language better. Yeah, I mean, I would digest the language. Why? Because I'll be forced to read it, even when I didn't want to. Day in, day out, every day, I was forced through this method, right, to recognize Hebrew characters, the letters per se, right, just to see who was calling me. I mean, I'll put my rib's name in Hebrew, right? I'll put girls that I would talk to. I transliterate their names who were not my wives yet. I'll just have their numbers in Hebrew. So when one of them is, slipping, I'm reading the Hebrew. I can see whose name it is in the Hebrew, right? Just ignore the call. I learned who to ignore and who to accept, whose calls to accept in the Hebrew. Let me see if I can find one. Let me see one of these old bros up in here. We got Diana, right? So old bro, does that one too. Long time. I don't know why our number's still in here, right? They got Danasha, right? Her name wasn't Danasha. I can't remember what her name was, right? Those are the generals. I got brothers that left the school. A warrior. There was a warrior a long time ago. Ephraimite from upstate New York left the school. Right, but this is the example of it. You see, I got all the brothers' names in here. Right, I got Yarashamath. This is Yariah Allah. I got Yatazar Yawa Allah. Who's that? Yad Korah. I believe he left the school too. Right. So that's the example of what I do, or what I did when I was a young man, officer of 50 maybe. Right. I think so. I believe. Right. So how to internalize the Hebrew? Because now this is just like math, right? Meaning, if you don't use it, you will forget it over a couple of days. So you come to Hebrew class today, you say the alphabet perfectly, all the way down to Qadash, and then next week you ain't said it in 7 days, and you forgot it. You come there and say, hey, say your alphabet. It's A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha. Oh, snap. So slack, sir. Can I look at the sheet right quick? Come on, sir. Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya. And then you're lost there, and you're like, sir, can I start over? Right? Which is not bad, right? But the whole idea is you want to avoid that by rehearsing it. It's your language, own it. Right? Own your language. The kingdom of heaven is within you. In our kingdom, we will be talking Hebrew. Own the thing, all right? Okay, good, right? Maybe a question online, good question, right? Okay, say out for me right quick, good question.
A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Cha, Ta, Ka, Ma, Le.
Slack it.
A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Cha, Ta, Ka.
Listen, what's
Ta, Ya.
Ta, yeah, there we go.
Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Ha, Za, Wa, Ra, Sha, Ta, Salaki.
Won't sound correct. That's very good. How happens? It's a little hiccup there. You know what I mean? Right, so follow along too again. One more time. We have A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za. This character right here is pronounced as Ha. It's based on the throat. All right. Remember now, this Ka and this what's the Ka? The Ka right here. They're not the same. Right? They're not to be pronounced the same. They're never to be pronounced the same. Right? But you have to make the distinction, because if you say like we have Captain Qadash in here, right? We know that we're talking about Captain Qadash. That's because of context, right? But the word Qadash means arrow, right? Now Qadash with a K, I believe it means to wash. All right. So if you say, "Yo, go in the shower, or go wash," right? If you say Qadash instead of Qadash, then I might be misled by what you're saying. You know what I mean? So distinction is very important in language, because it's the keys of communication. To not have, whatever you say is not misunderstood as something else. All right. All right. So we have Kha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Tha. Now, by the way, in the English language, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, right? More focusing on the K and the C, right? You go to English, you go to school, and the English teacher who was raised in English herself, right? Ignorant of the roots of language, as nobody really knows because it's really not their job to know. It's our job to know, right? They teach the alphabet in kindergarten, nursery, kindergarten, right? And they say ABCs, sound them out. A, ba, ka, da, e, fa, ga, ha, I, j, ka. Right? So they, in their instance in English, these sound the same except one is what they taught us was that this is a ka sound and this is a shorter ka sound. In all reality, this is supposed to be the CHAA. Alright? And the K remains as ka as it's supposed to be. Alright? That's what this is here. Right? And even according to General Muhammad, if you want to name a child, right, you don't have to write the whole CHAA out when naming your child. You can put CHA. As you know, in English, it may be misled. According to General Muhammad, you're even allowed to just put CA. So, for example, you have okay, my son's name is Qadash. Right? Everyone in the school knows Qadash. They love him, play with him when he comes here. I believe he's on his way tonight, right? Right? I know his name like it's on his birth paper. Right? Now, according to General Muhammad, right? For the instance of what is valuable in the alphabet and the root of it and the transliteration, right? As you know, Simon is Simeon in the Bible, right? Jesus is Yahushua, right? James is Jacob. James, Jacob, and Yaakov are the same name. They have common transliterations. Now, for the pronunciation of Qadash, if I had knew this earlier, I could have put in his birth papers Ka, Sham. I could have did that. So now when I go to a doctor's appointment or the hospital or any government building, they're not saying how you say this name. Shasham, right? They see the two A's there. They know to not say Shasham, right? They see the two A's there. A lot of times they do come out and say, oh, Kasham. Right? And that is why scholars, we didn't make this up. That is why scholars put this here, because it triggers another process of thinking of how to pronounce this thing in your mind when you write it like this, instead of just one A. Right? So now you don't have to put this on your child's birth certificate. And I'm saying this because the nation in the I.S.U.P.K now, the nation of Israel in the I.S.U.P.K is very, very large now. It's a wonderful and very unbeknownst amount of people. And I don't even know how much people in here no more. One time we could count, we could estimate. Yeah, there's about 50 brothers in school now, 70, 80, and then you got to like 100 and around. When I came in, it was like probably about 150 people started in the school, and now you can't really tell how much people's in the school. There's a population of people that have passed over this year. You know what I mean? And by the nation, I mean according to the Bible, right? One camp is a nation. Anything outside of the camp of the Lord is cast out. According to the Bible, they are in the world. That's in the Bible, right? Meaning, even in the time of Yahushua, when Yahushua was there, right? Whoever was rolling with Yahushua was in the kingdom of heaven. Right? That is where the Lord's protection was. That is where anywhere they go, the Lord will be with them. Right? Shalom, I'm in the middle of pass out. I don't press that. Come. Right? Anywhere they go, the angels are with them, are guiding. That is the kingdom of heaven. You don't want to think like a Christian. Right? The kingdom of heaven is the protection of the Lord. It's the Garden of Eden. The garden means, that's a good one too, right? Garden in Hebrew. Garden in Hebrew is Garden, right? And when I say garden, the is just the, right? And garden is the word for garden. Why? Because a garden is around your house to do what? To be a barrier against, like you can't walk through a garden. A real garden has, it has what do you call it? A hedge, right? A garden is surrounded by a hedge in perimeter, right? So that hedge is in essence your fence or your wall. That is your garden. Everything outside the garden is the wilderness. You see what I'm saying? So outside of the I.S.U.P.K, you go through a lot of bad things in hell, and anyone does what they want to you. You join a fake Israelite group. The man in the Israelite group that you respect, he's the one molesting you and misleading you and touching you and trying to have sex with all of the wives and having adultery with the other brothers' wives and all kind of stuff going on. Child molestation is there because they are without the hedge. They're without the garden, which you would have in the I.S.U.P.K. You can't take no to counsel over there in none of those groups because you are without the garden. You are not with the Lord's wisdom and protection as prescribed by the law. Right? You go to the Israelite groups, you go to hell. Same thing with church. Same thing with the mosque. They are outside of the hedge of the Lord. They are outside of the Garden of Eden. All right? Yes.
They engage language.
Huh?
They engage language.
They engage. And that's that is the essence of that scripture too. Let me get that. We all know this. Jeremiah 14:2. All right? We should get this in Hebrew a little bit too. All right? Okay. Jeremiah 14:2. Okay.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth.
Judah mourneth, right? Judah in the Hebrew is YAHANNA. Judah mourneth, right? Keep it.
And the gates thereof language.
And the gates thereof language, right? Keep it.
They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
And the cry, and when you're without the gate, right? When anyone can come in your gate and violate you because you don't have the protection of the Lord, you will cry. You will cry for help, and you will cry for the lack of hope. All right? Okay. So we have here. There's some good words here. We have mourn. Mourn is abal. Right? Abal. I believe abal is also another word. I believe abal is like but or something. Right? Like but as in when you want to in a sentence and you say, I went to the store, but I got turned away. Right? I went to the car, but I forgot my keys. Right? Abal, right? Abal is mourn here. So context is important again. Everywhere in Hebrew, everything in the truth and life is based on context, right? Judah, we know Judah right here is Yahweh. As you see here, everything is written in the Assyrian Hebrew. All right? That is what the world considered to be the preferred writing form of Hebrew. Anything before that, such as the ancient, is considered barbaric, and paleo, meaning outdated. That's what they're trying to say, that this is an outdated language, talking about the Lashawan Qadash. Our language is outdated, and our people and identity is outdated, and that's what they're talking about, right? Right? The gate right here. The gate is Sha'ira. Sha'ira. Right? Sha'ir. I believe the word here is like that too, right? Sha'ir, right? And that sha'ir is good too. Because this word is where you get the word. A lot of times you'll see in English, you hear something, you see like Hellshire, right? You see this word a lot of times in English. You go to places and it'll be like Buckinghamshire or Hellshire, but the shire is gate. right? It's coming from the Hebrew sha'ir, right? Which means gate. Yeah.
You see how we dealing with the
English people also, they pronounce it, sometimes they pronounce it as sure. Buckingham Shore, Hell Shore. We have in Jamaica, we have a Hell Shore Beach. Right? Slacky, go ahead.
See how I'm dealing with the app right
Slack, one time. Meaning, Hell Shore Beach, meaning the gates of hell is where we had the slavery in Jamaica. All right? We came up on the shores of Hell Shore Beach and carried to us our plantations. Around that time would have been what was called Spanish Town. All right, when the Spaniards brought us to Jamaica, we were supposed to speak Spanish before we was later on forced to speak English. It's like what question mark? Okay, the act now.
You said that's in Jamaica?
Yeah, in Jamaica there's a place called Hell Shore Beach. You know what I mean? And the shire or shire is rooted from the Hebrew word shire. Right? It's the same pronunciation. Because a lot of things in English is Hebrew. If I say, what is he babbling on about? That babble is the same babal in Hebrew. Babal, which means confusion. Right. As in Babylon. Right? What else? We have the word for the God is gamal. That gamal is camel. All right, camel. All right. When you say when we in the Hebrew, I is ayan because the I is in English today is from ayan. They just spell it with an EYE, when it's from the Hebrew word ayan. All right. What else? Can't think of others right now, but there's a ton of them. All right. Yeah, you have a question. We call gay people today sodomites. Sodomites because if you go to any court, any business place, any atheist and say that man is a sodomite, because how do I know that? He is on the sexual offenders list for sodomizing this other person. Sodomize comes from Sodom in the Bible. All right? No matter if you're atheist, Christian, Muslim, in English, sodomize, the word sodomize comes from the word Sodom, from Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, slap.
You see how we're using the app, right? Even that word we just pulled up more, a ball.
Oh, which app?
The Hebrew Christian interlinear.
Okay, got it.
Like I know the Hebrew will be accurate, right? Mm-hmm. But how will we know where to connect the lines?
The connector will lie according to the rules of the Hebrew. So now, if you see a preposition there, you will put the connector as according to making the preposition sound not connected with the word that was in front of it. So we have a word here. We have baba. We have baba right here, right? Or shy. Let's do the shy, right? We have shy is not a good example, but ba is a better example, right? Ba, la, right? The connector will go as so. Most words, right? As you know, most words in Hebrew, right, are based on a consistency of 2 or 3 combinations of Hebrew characters to make a word, right? In almost all instances, the second and the last letters, right, are connected, right? If there's a preposition, if there's a possessive, it won't be connected to the possessive, right? So here we have, let's clear the board a little bit. Oh, we got that there. Let me get you up the spray. Yeah, we have the word abaladi, right? And by the way, with garden, right? You change the into ma to say magan is how you say shield, like how we say magan dawada. Because ma is of a garden, a shield is like a protection, it's something like a protection. Right? So ma gun will be like that. If you could say shagan, I don't see shagan in the scriptures, but shagan, the shah is a preposition to say pertaining to, right? Pertaining to a garden, right? So maybe shagan might be something different. It might be a what's the place you go to in Brooklyn? They have a botanical garden or something like that. where it's not a garden, but it's like that is a, something like that. A park. You know what I mean? Or, or a park would be a garden, but you get the idea. I mean,
something with a border.
Huh?
Something with a border.
Yeah, something with a border. Anything that we can look at and be like, this is clearly like what we would look at as a garden, or something that is protected like a garden. You just put the preposition there and just form the word like you would in the culture of a language, right? The key thing is the culture, right? Right. Okay. Okay, so we get Abala, right? I'm gonna leave garden on the board for a little bit. Okay. In most instances, like I said a while ago, a ball would be but, right? As in sentence structure. I went to the park, but the gates were closed. I got in my car, but I forgot my keys, right? That's it, right? Now, in this sense here, a ball is the word for mourn in Jeremiah 14:2, right? Right? And a ball, mourn, right? Right? So you read it in Hebrew, it will say Abala now, right? It will say Abala to say in the subservient form, or the feminine form, or the subservient form, right? Judah mourneth, right? Hebrew, right? Abala, right? Abala, right? Now, Abala, right? Connector. If I said Abala, yeah, right? That makes my mourn, right? It doesn't change anything going on here. The only thing is the possessive is there, and the possessive is written onto the word, right? So this is something which occurs in ancient Hebrew. Sometimes it doesn't. Why? Because anyone who's reading it already knows how to say it. Because it's not like now when we lost our language and we're trying to get it back, and they have these symbols to understand it. Back then they were speaking it. You can say this, I know what it means. And unlike today, a lot of people back then couldn't read or write anyways. The people that were reading and writing were the people that had to read and write, which would be the priests, right? Because they were governing the nation, right? People that might have been doing exchange would have to learn to read a little bit to make records of their sales and to pay their tithes. But for the most part, brothers and sisters would live and not even read or write. You know what I mean? There was no reading the Bible. You know what I mean? That's why they had that thing a couple years back about in Europe, the Catholic priest, he'll be talking in Latin and and he'll be saying that, reading the Latin Vulgate, which is a Latin translation of the Hebrew, right? Which is not as accurate as the King James version, right? And is a language which stopped being spoken by people in Europe. And the only person who could read the Latin was the priest. And he would read the Bible to you, and that when he does he's reading the Bible, and everyone in the crowd is just listening, and they didn't speak Latin any damn way. King James saw it was dumb, and we need an English translation. Right. So now, the priests are not getting away with robbing the people in Europe, because the priests in Europe are thieves. The Catholic priests and Pope today, just like any other day in the past, are thieves and crooks and sinners and liars and bastards. All right, according to the Bible. All right, and gay and child molesters. All right. So now, yeah, thieves. Right. So now, in olden time, it was much the same. We're going in and out of captivity. Meaning what? For the most part, you poor because you're losing all of your wealth to these nations, right? And to hear what's going on with the Lord in the Bible, you would, just like today, you would attend a holy convocation called the Sabbath service. The Sabbath service, according to the Bible, I believe that's Leviticus 20, right? Coca-Cola, sure, right? According to Leviticus 20, when it lists the high holy days, right? The Sabbath service is a high holy day, meaning if you should definitely try to go there unless your slavery disallows you. You see what I'm saying? You have to absolutely go. You have to go to your Sabbath service and attend and bring food and treat it like any high holy day, because the Bible said it is a high holy day and you should respect it as the Lord said it is. Now when you go there, not everybody's gonna be up on the podium. Not everybody's gonna be up on the podium reading the Bible. There'll be one man on there reading the Bible and two brothers beside him breaking it down. Right? And that is the coach, and everyone else will just listen. And they will hear him read the Bible. They hear the man in the middle read the Bible, and the man breaking down what's being said. All right?
Got a question about you.
Okay, hold on. Right? So for the most part, the majority of Israelites were not people who could read. I mean, it's not like today where everybody is forced to go to school. We had a lot of work to do, right? A lot of us were crafty in building and all kind of stuff. All right. Okay, right. So do we got this? We understand that now, right? Okay, so even if you had it with no connectors, just like in the Tanakh, the interlinear, right? I can still make out what it says because I'm looking at what space. I'm looking at what the context is, right? I can see the context is not talking about a woman. So the ha in here is not the possessive ha, right? So this is something that comes with age and experience in reading and writing. Just like today, you could become a teacher, or you could be any regular person who just reads something, and you might be able to spot out grammatical errors, right? Which is the same thing what you'll be doing with the Hebrew. You'll be looking at what is really being said here. The scriptures is perfect. There's no mistakes in there at all in Hebrew, right? So there's no grammatical errors here. You see what I'm saying? No matter where you go in the Hebrew scriptures, there's no grammatical error. So therefore, this is not hard in the possessive, but this is hard as in making this feminine or a subservient form, right? Yeah. What's the question? If I couldn't have a question.
Come on, sir. This from Sister Just Archipelago to if I may, sir.
Shalom, sis.
When was the woman's salute created?
The woman's salute was created. If she asked me what year it is.
She said the actual date. And may I please have the complete meaning of the salute?
Okay. The date, I don't know the date of when that stuff was created. A lot of that stuff was made, and they might not have had official dates of when it was created. I asked Commander YAHANNA that too one time when he came here too. Or maybe Jemma Hyman, and I asked him what year was this? What year was the men's salute created? And he wasn't really sure because there was no fixed time or date. It was something the brother said we should salute, like the scriptures say, according to the book of I believe it might have been Thessalonians, to salute the brothers and how you should say it, right? And the brothers figured it out and did it. They didn't really make a big deal of it. There was no celebration. It's just like today, when we made a table here, it has the nation of Israel, according to what the land of the Garden of Eden said it would be, not according to the land we had in the past, but the promised land. All right, we put it down. It was an accomplishment. We didn't make a date. We didn't make no date. We don't even know. We just know it was last year, probably. Last year, right? It was last year, sometime summer. It was warm season. We know that, right? a brother who taught the Hebrew in the past created Kwame Yasharala. I know that much. There was a brother who taught the Hebrew who was walking by the camp one day, and he yelled out Kwame Yasharala, and the brothers knew what it meant, and they yelled at the camp. They yelled out Kwame Yasharala, and from that day, it became a thing. There was no recorded date. They're just a brother. I can't remember his brother's name. He's from Brooklyn too. He's can't remember his name. He's from Brooklyn, and he used to teach the Hebrew in the I.S.U.P.K. And of course, if he's out there, he's more than welcome to join us here. And we could like in the days of One West, which is today and forever, as it has always been, we can be brothers. All right. Okay. The women's salute. Let's get the women's salute. We went over this last week too. All right. Hopefully, we don't gotta go over this every week.
The sister said concert we did, SHALAM. So the sister said concert we did, SHALAM.
Concert we did what? On the breakdown last week? Okay, but she probably doesn't really get it. So we'll still go over it, right? Or did she remember we went over it, but she forgot it?
She didn't agree with what you said.
Okay, you don't have to ask her because we're gonna do it again, all right? The woman salute, right? The salute for the sisters, right? Look if you can see the word for salute. Oh, the word for salute is barak. Yeah. I'm thinking of the New Testament, but the word for salute is barak. Salute is a blessing, right? It's a straight up prayer. That is why if your head is covered, you cannot say the salute. You should not say the salute if your head is covered. If you're a man, you should not say the salute if your head is uncovered as a sister, because a sister has to have her head covered according to the rules and traditions of the Israelites, according to what the Lord will give respect for, which will be the men and women in the truth. All right, and this was the culture and tradition. And if you break it, if you think it's nothing, then you just over time the Lord will just take blessings away from you because you are disrespecting the Lord's ways, right? And the Lord's ways in the synopsis is what is commonly called the statutes, the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Yeah.
Real fast, one time, if I may. So say we like at the house over happy, right? And we just read the scriptures.
Yeah.
We shouldn't read it with a do-rag on our head.
No, you should not. If you did it, don't worry about it. The Lord winked at your ignorance. That's what the Lord said. You didn't know. The Lord winked at your ignorance. You didn't know. You were ignorant of the fact of what was proper at a time. Don't read the Bible with your head covered. Right? You can roll up even a little bit. Roll it up to right to your crown or something. You know what I mean? But don't read the Bible with your head covered. Yeah, don't read the Bible or pray with your head covered as a man. Don't read the Bible or pray with your head uncovered as a sister. Right? Now here's the rules. Here's the rule that people don't get when they call me. Brothers maybe from out of state. They always think that there's some big play with the salute. There's not. Lord and Christ is only if your head is covered. If your head is uncovered, You have to say the Hebrew. You have to salute your brother, right? Lord in Christ is only for when your head is covered. I know a lot of people out there, right? They far away from home. They don't get the tradition, right? But that is how it is, and that is what the general will tell you. It's what he told me. You see what I'm saying? So brothers from far away, any far away place, I see sometimes they get it mixed up. Some young brother from far away, he doesn't know that there's a difference. It's not just Lord and Christ for everything, right? It's Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatha, or shorter. We saying it short because we know sometimes Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Barakatha can be inconvenienced for the long sake of it, right? So instead of saying Lord and Christ to cut out the salute, Yadrikta is still the salute. It's no different than to say, nah, I mean, when I'm saying, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I mean? Do you just say, nah, I mean, right? But I know what you're saying. And the Lord is very intelligent. He's not dumb. He knows what you're saying too. All right? He knows what you're saying, all right? And I'm not looking at you to say you. I'm just, you're the only man in the room. So that's it, all right? God. Right, so salute is Barak. We went over four. Four is what again, Bukwash? Kaya, good. Right, Kaya is 4. Sisters is Ak, Was. Plural in the sisters form would be with an N. Alright, this is the salute for sisters. Right, or salute for the sisters would be the will be here and the ha will be here, right? Ha Kwathian, right? Good. Right? It goes as so. Yahweh, what am I doing wrong here? Yahweh, Shamar, I'll Atha, and when you see Atha and not Athan, when you see Atha, not Atham, that means what? The sister, you only talk to one person. Alright? Yahweh Shamar I'll Atha, Ba, Ha, Sham, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. Alright, good. Right? Yahweh, according to the Bible, according to Genesis 3 and 14, right? Which is the one they say a higher, shor, a higher. I believe it's Exodus 3 and 14, right? The scripture in Exodus 3 and 14 where it says, I am that I am, right? A higher, shor, a higher. That scripture says the Lord's name is Yahweh. Right? That's the Lord's name. When you see I am that I am, when you see a high, a shor, a higher, in that scripture right there, in the context of what's going on right there, it's saying the Lord's name is not a higher, a shor, a higher. His name is not I am. That's what he's saying in the context, right? It goes on to say, I am that I am Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, of your forefathers. Right? That's what it's saying, right? Which is Yahweh is God. This is God's name. God's name. All right? When you see in Psalms where it says Yah, that Yah is there to not say the Lord's name in vain. Right? You've ever heard of, you go to church when you're young, And you say, oh my gosh, you said, oh my God. You use the Lord's name in vain. When the Lord's name is not God. God got a name. Saying his name in vain, what does the word vain mean? The word vain means for no purpose. You're saying the Lord's name for no purpose. So that's like you going around the house, when Christians become Israelites, right? They do this. They'll go around the house and say, oh, Yahweh. I've seen it done before. And it's dumb. It's so goddamn dumb. You know what I mean? Saying goddamn is not using the Lord's name in vain. When you say goddamn, your mom slaps you in your face because she thinks you're using the Lord's name in vain. She thinks it's wrong to say that. Sometimes they don't even know what using the Lord's name in vain is. But she slapped you because she was taught that you should not say goddamn because it's wrong. She don't know what it's for. She thinks it's a curse. What is the curse? Using the Lord's name in vain is a sin. Just like any other sin, which will give you a curse. All right?
So you saying we all slap back?
Huh?
You saying we all
slap back. You gotta come wait there and do this. You gotta take those slaps back. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? How is the Lord's name? All right? The word Shema means watch. Why? Because women are not warriors, man.
Right.
That's why. Women are not warriors. They're not going to be doing what Deborah did. You know what I mean? They're not going to be taking no axe to no Assyrian king's head when he's sleeping, when he's trying to have sex with her. That is not your job. That is not what you're going to do. You're not going to go to no. First of all, every white man is not a king. Every black man is not a king. I hate when people say, oh, shalom, king. I really don't like that. You know what I mean? I've not been elected to be a king yet.
Right.
We're trying to get the election, make that election sure.
Right.
Doesn't mean call me the president when I'm not yet the president, idiot. Salakia. You know what I mean? Like, before Donald Trump was the president, you don't call him the president. He hasn't earned the thing yet. Right. I'm an officer of 5,000. Don't call me no captain. You see what I'm saying? That's not my rank. My rank is officer 5,000. Call me officer, Hazah. Don't call me anything. Don't call me a general. My name is similar to General Hazayans. So sometimes people on Facebook don't know the difference. They say, oh, general, Salakia general. And I don't like it. It hurts me. Please don't do it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, get my rank right. Right? And women are not warriors.
Yeah,
all right? So in all that, you know what I mean, we got to get our roles right. Yahweh Yahushai to the brothers, it means the Lord bless you with what? Bless you with skills of war. The Lord is a man of war. Bless you with skills of war. Bless you with utilities for war. Bless you with a good full stomach for war. Good hydration, water for war. You see what I'm saying? Bless you with the rewards that come after the war. Bless you with peace that comes from the winning of the war. You see what I'm saying? That's what blessings are, right? Now, sisters, you pray the Lord watch over you, where you don't ever have to go to war because you're not made to go to war. Right? Right? Good, right? I always word for over. Over or upon, right? Over. Over who? Over you. Right? The Lord watch over you. Meaning, you can't fight, so if there's danger coming your way, the Lord watch over you. There's someone coming with guns to come kill you. What does the Lord do? He's driving in a pickup truck because he's looking for this sister to kill. Here's faith, right? Here's how the Lord works, right? He's coming with guns to hurt the woman because he's a snake, and the snake always goes to Eve. He's scared of Adam, right? He goes looking for the sister. He's going to pull up, but then the Lord turns the red light on that bastard, right? And he got to wait at red light while the sister's minding her business. Don't even know that there's danger. Just keeps walking, and then he goes. The green light go, and he looks and like, oh, where did she go? The Lord stopped the attack. The Lord stopped, And by the way, at this time, the sisters and the brothers are in no danger at all. The people that are going to be in the danger that are the people that's not in here. Right? Nobody has a mark on our head other than other black people who don't like black people. They don't like what we say. They don't like how we love black people. They hate us for the truth. You see what I'm saying? Who does the slave masters people hate? All black people, regardless of their race, religion, or creed. All right, and they're going to be looking for who is vulnerable. Just like any person in war, you get rid of the weakest link. The weakest link is who? The people that don't have brotherhood. Right? That is why Jeremiah was on point with it. I didn't even know Jeremiah was on point. Because I watched it over again, and I'm realizing the Jadakiss and Styles P and the Laxative and Shigoosh, them brothers are tight, and they came out there with a war strategy. Every time Cameron came to rap, they would talk about Jim Jones. What are you wearing? What kind of pants is those? He came out with the leather pants. While Cameron talking, Cameron feel a little, it threw him off. Jim Jones come up. What did they do? Talk about Cameron. Styles P start pulling on the leg of Cameron. You know what I mean? Cameron kicked him in the chest. You see what I'm saying? Because they're pitting the brothers against their brotherhood, because that is the people who win in the end who have the brotherhood. Why do we be winning? Why the oppressor be winning? Because they have their white Caucasian brothers, and black people are being individuals. You be hating your own cousin, your uncle molested you don't like him. Your auntie, your mom don't like each other, so you don't like your auntie. Your whole family is in shambles. You see what I'm saying? And we don't have brotherhood. We're not together, and therefore we are the weakest link. Our families, our cities get bombed because we don't have the care to say we need to defend each other out here. You know what I mean? No matter what, you out there in the world, brothers is hoping that your man gets shot. The person who you roll with, you're hoping that he gets shot because you envy this chain or something. I've seen this before. Right. He's wearing a ring. He's getting all the money. He's not sharing the money with you because the brotherhood ain't there. Right. He's taking all the money. He's giving you the little shillings on the side, the little, you know what I mean, the little toppings on the side, give you the sauce, but he's getting the pizza. You see what I'm saying? So what do? You envy him, and when he gets shot, you ain't all the way sad because y'all was never brothers. Right. Y'all roll like brothers, but y'all was never brothers. You know what I mean? So now, if you're outside the UPK, you don't have brothers, sisters don't have brothers outside the UPK. They are vulnerable. They will get kidnapped, and there will be no checking on Wednesday to say who's missing. Where's Sharika go? I don't know. When you heard from her about? I don't know, like a month ago, she probably with her boyfriend somewhere. Meanwhile, she in the woods dead somewhere. So she got raped and got killed and buried in the woods somewhere. Because nobody is watching over. The Lord is watching over her. And how does the Lord watch over you? The Lord watch over you by giving you brothers who would watch over your souls. And that's in the Bible. It's in the New Testament. Give me that scripture if I could. Safeguard your souls. Right? Ba-ha-shem, right? Ba means in. Ha, we went over that already. Ha, just like ha up here. Ha means the. Right? Me, I, out. And then over there, you guys are a cult. You guys are a cult. Because we watch over our brother. Because we watch over our sisters. Because the sisters have people who love them. Because we have a culture to hang on to while people in the world don't. So because of all of that, now we gotta be a cult. Because we're together. So they're saying that to rather us not be in a quote-unquote cult, but to just be with our regular lives in New York and just be individuals where, when danger is imminent, you have no protection. Please, give me a break.
So it's about the Eagles, right?
Okay, that sounds yeah, Khan. Right? So Bahashem means in the name of who? Yahawashi, who is Jesus, right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, so-called Jesus. All right, so that's what the sister's salute is. All right, you have the scripture?
Come.
Yeah, read it, please.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 17. Obey them that have rule over you.
Obey them that have rule over you. Why? Meaning what? If you're a sister, Obey the men that rule over you. Meaning your husband.
Right.
Meaning the men who are priests over your city. You should obey them.
Right.
You should obey everyone who's in the ranks of the Lord. They're not trying to harm you. If anyone tries to harm you, a harm is also called an offense. Right? You can take that man for counsel. Right? Everybody's going to be accountable for their action here because this is how everyone is watched over. You have to bring it up. Unless you like being abused. You know what I mean? These other camps out there, they like being abused. So they say, we're not going to go to the I.S.U.P.K because they're too strict. Too many people are watching over each other in there. They're too strict. We got to go to the other place where ain't that much eyes on us. We can get away with some stuff. Guess what? Other people are trying to get away with stuff in there with you too. You're trying to get away with one sin. He's trying to get away with another sin right beside you. And there goes the evil. Your evil is allowed, and then his evil is allowed, and there goes the evil interaction between all of you and you all hate each other. Or you all have a lack of brotherhood. And you all are crying. Judah mourners. His gates thereof languish. What do you say about his crying?
His cry has gone up.
His cry has gone up. That's Joy Morgan. Joy Morgan, her cry has gone up. Her like the Bible says in Genesis, her blood crieth from the ground.
Right. Go on. And submit yourselves, for they watch for your soul.
For they watch for your souls. And the Lord gave you brothers. Listen, Moses said that too. The Lord gave you brothers to share your burden with for the work of the Lord. You know what I mean? That's why the Lord created the rank system. The rank system is so brothers can help other brothers with burden. Right? There's a man that's going to dish out the burden, and the man will divide the burdens between other men as seen fit and watch over the burdens. And the burdens is what? All of our lives. All of our lives is the burden. To take care of all of us, to make sure that we're all safe and fed and well looked after. Hence the term looked after. Now looked after is to watch. The Lord looks after you. The Lord makes sure you're fed. You got a roof over your house. You got clothes on. You know what I mean? Your kids are safe and they're fine. You know what I mean? They look after, they watch. The Lord watch over you. In the name of Yahweh. In the name meaning in the reputation. Name and reputation. Don't put dirt on my name. Don't ruin my reputation. In the name of Yahweh. As meaning as Yahweh would like to have it. You see what I'm saying? Not as Farrakhan would like to have it. Right? Not as Nathaniel 7 would like to have it. Not as Tahara would like to have it. Tahara is going to say you should get raped if you're 12 years old. That's what Tahara is going to say. That's not what Yahweh did. You see what I mean? That's not what he did. You know what I mean? A whole lot of hell is going on in these figures of that groups. You see what I'm saying? So in the name of Yahweh, meaning how Yahweh would have you do it, and who's a professional on teaching people how to live according to how Yahweh would like you to command in general Muhammad.
Yeah, right.
Right? And I'm not saying that for nothing. I'm saying that because that is what we experience in here. Because we get to be brothers in here. You see what I'm saying? Will brothers buck heads in here? Yes, they will. And they will go to council and they will be brothers. Whoever did the offense will pay a fine to the other brother, and justice will be made, and the brother will be made to forgive each other and to be respected by each other. And that is the system in I.S.U.P.K. If you're not in here, you don't have that. You don't have that. You're just a bunch of Christians that love the Bible and your Bible buffs while you don't ever get to live it. All right? So that's what the salute is, right? The salute means you get to live the Bible. You get to feel the brotherhood. That's what this is. Like brotherhood is in English is a cliche term where we don't really know what brotherhood is. We don't really know that the thing that you need in your life. When you say black people gotta get together, black people get together. That is what we mean when we say brotherhood, right? But people don't get that. We say, "Oh, black people, we need some unification out here. We need some unity." UNITY, all that. The thing is in unity is the brotherhood, but because they are in the world and they don't have nothing to go according to for unity, they say unity, but they mean brotherhood. And when we say brotherhood, We mean unity between Black, Hispanic, and First Nation, so-called Native Indian, men, women, and children. All right? If you ask the Lord to watch over you, you think the Lord is going to come over and bring a big hand shadow through the clouds to watch over you? No. It means He's going to direct brothers to call you, to welcome you to the school, and to make sure that you're okay when you leave the school. And the angels will follow you around. Why? Because the priests ask the Lord to watch over you in the name of Christ. Right? It's not just random. First of all, the Lord says He heareth not sinners. All right? Right? Good. Now, at the end of class, when the women salute the men, who says first? The men salute the woman first, right? The men would say the same salute. Right? If there's more than one sister, he would not say Atha. If there's only one sister, he would say Atha. He would say the Atha. Right? If there's more than one sister, the brothers would say Athan. They will not say this. They will say this. They will say Athan. Right? To say more than one woman. Right? And this is going to be a set of y'all, right? Meaning you plural. All right? Good, right? Now, what do the sisters say? Do the sisters say the same thing back? They do not. The sisters who are talking to the men, saluting the men, have to say the salute that fits the men, right? Which is a thumb, right? This is what you say to men, thumb. You say this to men. All right? This is to women, right? This is to men. All right? So, at the end of the class, the brothers are Madia, Barak, the brothers, right? Y'all watch them with Sar, and salute back, and then they say Sar to the sisters, Sar Lahakwathian. Right? And Barak, which means to salute the sister. And then they would say, the men would say, Yahweh Shema Alathan Bashim Yahweh Shai. And the sisters with their head covers, if they have no covering for their head, they would simply put the hand on their head and put their hand like they would here. And then they would say, Yahweh Shema Al-Thumb, because they're talking to men. A thumb, because they're talking to men. A thumb, because they're talking to men. Yahweh Shema Ala Thumb, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, which means God watch over y'all, men. In the name of Yahweh Shai, who is Jesus Christ, all right? Kasham, what's going on there? We will just say everybody your name, and you left the house with the remote again. I got a joke where if he was to send him to rob a bank, he'll run in the bank and come out with the remote because he likes remotes, right? This remote has no business in the school yet, but you brought it, right? You brought it, no problem, right? And we was all teaching his name earlier. His name is Kasham. All right, this is Kasham right here that I was talking about earlier, right? Yes. Okay. So now, what's next? Shalom. Okay. We had something going on in the Lord's Prayer down here. I'm gonna go down, Kasham, right? Mwah. Juice? Oh, you got juice already. No more questions online, right?
Nah, sir.
Okay. You know, always I want to wear my glasses to classroom, and I never get to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now, Lord's Prayer, right? What's up? Good? Hmm? Lord's Prayer, what do we have here? We have Abba Nawa. Right? Abba Nawa. Right? And Abba is father, which will be your dad. Right? There was no formal or regular way to say, it's not like to say father and daddy and mother and mommy. It's just Abba is father. Amma is mother, right? Good, right? Abba, Nawa, Nawa is our. Right? They even sound similar, right? Let me get that scripture now, Matthew 6 and 10 if I could. All right, Abba, Nawa. We have Shah, Ba, Shemaiah, Shabba, Shemayim, Shemayim, right? Shah means pertaining to, pertaining, Ba means in, Shemayim means heaven, okay? Right? Qadash, or read it for me if you cannot.
Couple times, sir.
Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Thy kingdom come,
Uh-huh.
thy will be done
Uh-huh.
in earth as it is in heaven.
Right, so we are familiar with this prayer right here. This is the prayer. Right? This is the prayer that's called the Lord's Prayer, which is what Yahweh said, this is how you should pray. Right? Qadash means separate. Right? Or in other words, holy. Right? The word holy means separate according to the Bible dictionary of all kinds and according to the Hebrew, because when you see holy in the Bible, the word will be Qadash. What does Qadash mean? It means separate. All right? The holy people, the Moses talks about in Deuteronomy, means these people are supposed to be separate from all other races of people. Why? Because the very second you want to love all people and let all people in your community, then you have no businesses, you have no restaurants, but you will have Chinese restaurants, you will have Caucasian Starbucks coffee, you will have Italian pizza shops on your corner, you will have Midwestern McDonald's store set up over there, you will have an Arab deli set up there, you will have Africans selling you scarves and gloves, and you Negroes ain't gonna make no money. That's why you're gonna have Jewish record labels bumping brothers out the radios, but the Jewish man getting the money, and then paying the artists as they please. And nowadays you see it's all garbage. That's on these radio stations for music, right? But the Jewish man is in charge. He's in charge of who's also the Jewish man in charge? He's in charge of Viacom, television. You see what I'm saying? So now we own nothing. We can't make money off a sandwich. We can't make money off of a light bulb. We can't make money off a glove or a sock. You see what I'm saying? Because now we've loved all people and we've let all people come in. All right? Right? So now, how do you fix that? Becoming separate. We sell the scarves and the gloves. That's one man's job. He makes a whole lot of money doing that. This other black man sells the fried chicken with his wife and his woman. That's a whole other income to the brother selling fried chicken. Another brother sells sandwiches. That's a whole other income to the brother selling sandwiches, right? Some chicken wings that the Chinese man selling, we sell that with rice and vegetables, or whatever it is, soul food of all the kind, and rice and beans, right? Who am I missing? The Indians always selling all the fabric every goddamn way in Brownsville, right? Put a black man in that store right there. A black man makes the money that an Indian would make. You see what I'm saying? What else?
The nail salons.
The nail salons. That's the water, right? So a black woman could be making that money, or have a man in charge of the business. Right. You see what I'm saying? He's the one who's gonna make sure that place is well secure, like any business would be, right? And they'll be making that money instead of going to jail or selling drugs. You see what I'm saying? That right there is about six or seven rich families right there. Right. Rich right there. You see what I'm saying? Nonetheless, the competition on the street will be your brother again, right, who has a different style of cooking, right, a different style of doing nails, a different style of making sandwiches, or whatever. And they have a whole other stream of income. You see what I'm saying? One brother makes burgers. There's other stores where a brother rules that he's selling lamb chops. I don't know, right? He got his own other restaurant. This other person has his own other corner store. You got the competition corner store down the street. That's a whole other set of rich black families, and this is only one neighborhood. Right. You see what I'm saying? Black bus drivers, right, black company, black owned electric company. The black man who sells ketchup, who distributes his ketchup all over the city. Black Heinz. That's a whole other rich black family somewhere. Black give me one of them. I go to the supermarket, they got some Scarsdale or something, Scarsdale or something like that. If that was a black Scarsdale, it's a whole other black rich family. Black Tyson's meat, right, a whole other black rich family. Right. Black what?
The family that make bread.
Huh?
The family that make bread.
The family that make bread. The family that sells lettuce, tomatoes. That is a whole other rich black family. What else could we have that's not food? Light bulbs, carpet, water, phones, remotes, TVs, computers. Each one of those things could be ruled by another rich black family. Right? Black coffee maker, black coffee. Black person who sells cups made by black people. Plates and utensils. Plastic ruled by this black family. Metal utensils ruled by this family. Clay plates of this design made by this family. This plate of this design made by this family. This fridge made by this family. That's a whole other world of black people. Knives made by this different family. Drywall made by this different family. Cement mixer made by this different family. Hammers and tools made by this other different family. He gotta make 1 million hammers. Everyone needs a hammer. Right. Who needs a ruler? Everyone needs a ruler. Right. Who needs pens? Black Expo family business. Another whole millionaire family. Make the paper. Another black family. Make the what do you call this? This plastic lamination. Another black family. Make the shelves. Another black family. Picture frames. Another rich black family. Chairs. Another rich black family. We get robbed, man. Speakers. Another rich black family. Cameras. Another rich black family. And with all of their competition, where copycat family says, I want to make cameras too. I want to make speakers too. I want to make chairs too. I want to make windows too. I want to make doors too. Right? You let so much people in, loving all people. That's why you have nothing. That's why you have nothing. Damn right. You have nothing because you gave it all away by Martin Luther King. All right. And of course, you can name 1 million other things. Right? All right. Qadash is separate higher. This is the same higher in Ahaya, Ashara, Ahaya. What people say when they say, oh, the Lord's name is I am that I am. This Haya is the same thing when it says be. This be in what they say, Ahaya, Ashara, Ahaya, it is written as am. Right? They'll just put the R here, the same R in front of it as the preposition. Right? The same R that's in the part to say R, which is I. Right. I be. I am is I be. Right? This is black talk. The Bible is black talk. I'll be about 35. I'll be there in a minute. I'll be the hardest nigga in town. You know what I mean? I be. That's how we talk. We say I be. We don't say I am. That's good common English. But we slaves of the plantation with a language that we don't know, speaking in a form that we don't understand why, is because we are the Hebrews, all right? We are the people who spoke Hebrew with the Israelites, all right? Higher, right? Good. Right? Shamka. Right? That same Sham is the same Sham in Bahasham. Right? And that Sham is name. Right? Sham is how you say name. Right? My name is Hazahar. How do I say that? Shamya Hazahar. Right? Or if I say, what is your name? I want to say, what is your name? Right? Now in Hebrew, we don't say is. You won't see is in Hebrew in the Bible, right? The closest thing you get to that would be the be. What be your name? What your name be? What your name be like? It's that ghetto black talking that you've always heard of. It is the culture of the Bible. It's the language that Jesus Christ spoke. It was the first language, the original, and the best. Because the best shall be saved for last, and this English is going down, man. All right? Ma in Hebrew is how you say what. All right? You could say higher. You could say, you don't have to say nothing. What your name? Right? Sham. Right? Sham. Right? And then the yor will be the ka. Right? The yor will be the ka. Ma sham ka. What's your name? What's your even the sentence in English where you gotta say the S on the what's is to cut out the is. You see what I'm saying? Ma shamka. Ma shamka. What's your name? And you will say Bukwashman Ma. Or you will say Shamya. Shamya, because Sham means name. Right? And then the Ya would mean my. Right? Shamya, my name or name my, right? Because the possessive goes behind the word in our culture, right? And you will say Shamya Bukwash Amath, right? Bukwash Amath. And that word Bukwash means, what do I mean again?
Search, strive, seek out.
Search, strive, seek out. There's a main meaning for this word right here. Right? No pride, right? So he says search or seek out, right? Right, search. Right? And then amath will be the truth, right? Right? Bakwash amath. Right? Truth. Right? Which is the officer's name who's in the room here with me, right? On the ones and twos, all right? All right, so that's how you say this in Hebrew, right? What is your name? And then Ma Shamka, you respond Shamya Nakara. All right? Shamya Kasham. And I write Kasham. Mashamka. Huh? Mashamka. No. Mwah. let's go on with the prayers, the Lord's Prayer. What time we got? What time we got to watch?
8:45.
Okay, cut. My fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's 12:45 on the code for it.
12:45 is what?
12:45 on the code.
Call for what?
For the course.
Okay, cut. And what did it say?
It says the primitive roots to search out by any method, specifically in worship or prayer, by implication to strive after.
Okay, cut. So search out, search and seek.
Acts,
Seek.
beseech, desire, require.
That's the one. Okay, beseech. Okay, I know Captain Zakar taught the beseech the time. Okay.
Babu
Babu Kosha was it. Right? Babu Kosha is how we say please. Bakwash. Kwasha. Right? Kwasha. Right? Is how we say please. It meant in this sense, which is the sense I was used to at the beginning, it means request. Right? It's no different than saying por favor. Request is a favor. In request, in favor, or for a favor, right? It's our way, it's the Israelite or the Hebrew way of saying please. Right? Bakosha. Alright? Bakosha, right? Okay? Okay, what's it say?
So, Salaki, sir, how do you write a number in a sentence?
You gotta write the number out. Alright? So we get thrown off by that way. Okay, we have made the numbers in a while. We can get thrown off with numbers for them. Alright? Here's one. One is a card. What's two, Kwash? Shanya. Right, we never really had a writing system. I believe Abraham did. Abraham, according to the book of Josephus, Abraham communicated arithmetics to the Egyptians and the Chaldeans, and they loved Abraham for it. And today, today the Arabs are running around the number system as the first son of Abraham, and they call it Arabic numerals. You have Roman numerals and they have Arabic numerals, and I don't want to call it Arabic numerals, I'd call it Abrahamic numerals, right? Because Abraham is where the salt was, and the Arabs had no salt. They have nothing. Right? Even the halal is, is a bit. I mean, I like it because they cook it. It's lamb, right? It's lamb, but other than that, it's not special. It's not special. Yeah, I mean, and that scarf they wear, that weird plaid scarf that the Arabs be wearing, that's not special either. That is not Israelite custom. That is a heathen custom. I always think it's like was wearing some Arabic scarf. That is a heathen custom. All right. Akar Shanya Shalash Arabai Kamash. Shalash. That's the numbers I said. Shalash, Arabai, and by Arabai has no relation to the word Arab, alright? The word Arab is from Irab, which means mixed, because they are of a mixed lineage, according to the Hebrew, according to the Bible, and that is their name, the Arabian Peninsula. When they call it the Arabians, that Arabia is to say Arabia, to say the mixed people. Right? Abraham's seed was some Egyptian African slave, all right? Arabai, and then Kamash. All right? Kamash is the word for 5. All right? This is the name. This is the word that Yo, what's up here? Oh, what's my son's name up with? Oh, look at this. This car says Qadash. I'm like, Shalak, yeah, my son's name is not Qadash, his name is Kasham. Just got this two backward right here, right? Right? 6 is Shasha. Shasha. Right? Not to be mistaken with Shash, where Shash is linen. Right? Shash is linen. Right? Shash is the same word that people say, oh, your sash or your sachet, or you know that scarf people would be wearing, it'd be made out of linen, and it'd be like the sash or the sash around your waist. And the sash that you wear around the waist is so in the heat, your waist can breathe because you don't want to wear nothing that's hot in the summer. You see what I'm saying? And be sweating all around here. When you don't have to, you should be cool as the breeze in the summer. So we wore our linens in the summer. We wore our silks in the summer. Our women wore silk dresses and linen dresses. So where they don't have to be improperly dressed because it's hot, they just wear clothes where the air can breathe through very easily and still be cool even though it's hot as hell outside. Wear bright colors that reflect the sun's rays. It reflects it elsewhere. You see the bright color because that ray is being reflected at you. You see what I'm saying? It's being reflected off of her, so the heat is being deflected off of her. Right? In the summer, they say to not wear black because black attracts heat. Now, if you're a trooper in UPK, you go to war in battle gear with boots and fatigues. In the Middle East, boiling hot, you don't wear shorts and shirt in the army. Short camouflage and t-shirt camouflage fatigues. They wear the whole shebang with the body armor and they sweat to death. And they just train to get used to it because that's what warriors do. Get used to your black. Wear black linen. I did that when I was a trooper. I became a trooper in the summertime. And I know quick, just like any man who in war does, just adjust to the changing conditions. I'm in the hot, I gotta wear black. It's gonna be black linen, Negro. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna be here black and cool as the breeze. Alright? Come on. Shah is 6. 7 is Shabbai. This is where you get the word Shabbat from. Right? Shabbai. Right? Shabbai is the word for 7. Right? That's Shabbat. That's Shabbat. Right? Shabbat, sometimes Shabbat, sometimes Shabbat, and that tha means pertaining to the Shabbat. Whatever's in front of it, that T at the end is just like saying it's category or the thing pertaining to this, all right? Good, right? 8 is Shamona. Shamona. All right. I don't know if I can get the Arabic alphabet, right? There's something called cognate languages. Go in this book right here, right? Question mark, right? And go look in the back in the glossary, right? And pull up the page where it talks about cognate languages. Cognate languages, all right? Right? 9 is Tashai. Right? 9 is Tashai. Right? And 10 is Aishara, which is where you get the word Ma'aishara for tithes. Right? Aishara is 10. Alright? Everyone knows Captain Akkad. His name is Captain Akkad Ararai. I see 144,000. That's his name. All right. Good, right? Shanya is 2. Shalash is 3. Arabai is 4. Kamash is 5. Shasha is 6. Shabai is 7. Right? That Shabai is the word Sabbath also. The word Sabbath means 7th. Right? The word Sabbath means 7th. All right? Because Shabbat is the word, Sabbath is the word is derived from Shabai. All right? 7, Shemaona is 8, Sashai is 9, and 10 is Aishara. Okay? Good, right? And the Aishara is from Ma'aishara, right? Which is a 10 of anything you earn. If you earn corn, 10% goes to the priest. If you earn wheat, 10% goes to the Lord. If you don't earn corn or wheat, right? If you earn money, 10% goes to the priest of the Lord. All right? And that is how you have a governing system. Or if you feel like you don't have to pay tithes, just don't. But just don't promise to help when things get bad. Because things are going to get bad. Right? We're going to ask you, did you pay your tithes? You wanted to send us food and rations. The food and rations come from our tithes. And I pay my tithes. You know what I mean? And that when that time comes, the brothers are going to be under a certain watch and protection to make sure that we have food and everything we need in that time based on the good usage of tithes by a good man called Commander Gianna. And I say good man because that's what the Bible calls a man like a man of the Lord in Luke chapter 12. All right? Right? The good man who will not suffer his house to fall through. All right? Now for everyone else out there who don't want to pay tithes, right? When that day comes, you have nothing in the stock. You see what I'm saying? You got nothing saved for you by someone else, who when you run out of supplies, someone can aid you with something that was held back by everyone's putting together out of a small piece out of their pie for this great achievement. All right? The question mark. Yes.
Cognate language.
Cognate languages. Read.
Cognate languages are related through the same origin.
Cognate languages are related through the same origin. For example, we gave an example of the Arabs, who are of a mixed lineage from Abraham's seed and the flesh of an African.
Right.
All right? So here they have a mixed so-called language, meaning it's not pure. It's not according to the culture. All right? So therefore, they had a piece of Abraham's culture, but polluted. Right? And that's what Arabic is. Arabic is kind of, in a sense, the Lord gave them their own culture, but in reality, it's like a polluted Hebrew. Right. Because we say shalom, they will say salam. We will say shalom lakam, which means peace to y'all. They will say assalamu alaikum. Right? We call him the Most High Yahweh. He is our power. The word power is Allah. They call the actual God Allah. Meanwhile, it's not our God. Right? And there's a whole bunch more, right? And the numbers is one of them, all right? All right, read it again if you could from the top.
Cognate languages are related to the same origin.
Okay. Okay, go on.
Hebrew is related to the other Semitic languages, Arabic, Ugaritic, and Aramaic.
Right, so they even said it in the book. Right? Arabic is related to Hebrew. Right? Okay. Who the hell is this one here? I'm finishing class. I got 2 minutes. Oh, God, okay. We read a part again on the question mark.
Hebrew is related to the other Semitic languages.
Okay. Hebrew and other Shemitic languages. This Shemitic, when you say Shemitic, you know when someone says you're doing something anti-Jewish, they call it anti-Semitic. That Semitic is Shemitic. Right. All right. That's when they say Semite, it's Shemite. Right. All right. It's just another derivative of Hebrew languages with Hebrew words that are now English-like. Right? Keep going.
Arabic.
Here we have some Arabic numbers right here. It says how to count in Arabic. We have Wahid. That Wahid is like a card. Right? They have 2. They have Ifnan, which is not like ours, right? Ours is Shanya. Right? Shanya, this one is Itnan, right? The 3 is they got the line there. We have Shalash, they got talata. So we have shalasha, they have talata. All right. We have arabai, they have arbaya, arba'a. The R is also like an I, but just like how we say Arab, they say Arab. Right? So Arabai to us is Arba'a to them. All right. What we have? We have Kamash. They have Kamsa. Right. That thing on the bottom of the H up there is to say the same ka. That's how they talk in Arabic. Ka everything. Ka. Because that's what they do with their H's. That's a Kamsa. All right. God. Yeah, it's the same thing. The same when we see Hamite, it's the same way how them Egyptian bastards on the street say Kamite. That Kem is to say Kam in Hebrew, right? Kamite is Hamite. It's the same thing, all right? Hamite nation, Kemet. They say Kemet because they Negro scholars. You know what I mean? They trying to get it. You know what I mean? But it's not really Kemet. It's Hamite. In English, they do in the English with the Hebrew mix to say Kemite. It's like we are Israelite. The Egyptians were a Kemite people. All right, to say Ham or Cam. All right. Good, right? What we got? 6. We got Shasha. They got Sita. All right. We have for 7. We have Sab'a. We have Shab'ai. All right. 8. We have Shamana. For them, they have Tamania. Shamania. Tamania. Shamana. Tamania. All right. For 9, we have Thashai. For 9, they have Tisa. Thashai, Tisa. You know, it's the cognate language, right? And through that, that's how we know how to say Shamauna and not Shamawana. All right. That's how we know to say these things. All right. Good. Any more on that question mark? Yeah.
The more closely related languages are the more cognate words they will share.
The more related languages, the Israelites and the Ishmaelites were both sons of Abraham. So they had in this sense here with the numbers, we share a lot of things, even though when you go off into the Arabic languages, a lot of things is not the same as Hebrew. Because I've studied it. A lot of things is not the same. So you don't need to learn no Arabic studies. Now, if you have to take a course in some college or something, you could take Arabic, you could take it. I took Chinese. You know what I mean? The ma, when we talked the ma earlier about how to say what, they use the same ma in Chinese for their questions. In Chinese, the things are only a question if they say ma at the end. That ma is the same how we say what to make it the question in Hebrew, right? All of these are Shemite languages, Hebrew languages. All right, so there's similarities in each. All right, any more on that?
No, sir.
Mm-hmm. So read that part again if I could.
The more closely related languages are, the more cognate words they will share.
Right, so they will share more related words. Cognate languages, like saying related languages. All right, keep reading.
Hebrew and Aramaic.
Hebrew and Aramaic. Aramaic is what they call Lashawan Qadash. When they talk about Hebrew, they talk about the Yiddish. So they say Yiddish is similar to the Lashawan Qadash because Yiddish comes from Lashawan Qadash. Right. Except imposed of European vowels. Keep reading.
Having a multitude
because it's the same goddamn language, just with European vowels in there. Keep reading.
Having a multitude of cognates.
Having a multitude of cognates, and the reason why they say multitude of cognates and not all cognates is because they took English words like television and turned that into Hebrew, into Yiddish words like tala bisan. That's why they say a large amount instead of saying all or everything. Right? Telephone is in Hebrew is telepan to them. All right? They just so in their sense, things is a little watered down, and they put a lot of English in there. A lot of English transliterated, things in there, right? Keep it in.
Hebrew and English, virtually none.
Hebrew and English, virtually none, which they don't know. Britain is Bar Yachtian, means the covenant. We went over Shire earlier. Hellshire Beach, Buckinghamshire. That shire is from Shire, which is gate in Hebrew. The Gamal is from camel in Hebrew. The what's the other one we had? The Babal, the Babel with your foolish talk. It's babbling on and on. Babel is from Babylon, which is from Hebrew. All right, right. So they don't know what they're talking about because they don't know that Edomites come from Isaac and Abraham too.
Right.
It is a covenant language, right? This is where scholars of the Lord teaches scholars of the world. All right? The truth is given to I.S.U.P.K, right? And with that, is there any more on that? And with that, I pass the class to Officer 50 for question marks.
Clap it up for the class.
Yeah.
We are the I.S.U.P.K, start out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the word. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashura. 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher priest fund. Free will offering for a priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, always check the back of your bulletin boards to see what's the next coming holy convocation. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. And with that, men of Israel, we say Amajim. We're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shabbat Rakatah, Yajim Matah, sword face the sisters, sister Amajim.
You can put your hand in there if you want.
We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister, men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar, Adatham Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai.
Very good.
Yajim Matah dismissed.